And welcome in, everyone, to another edition of Saints Live, coming to you from the Stevenson Dining Center on the Limestone College campus and via the airwaves. WZZQ Radio, Gaffney's Hot FM. I'm Fabian Fuentes. Thanks so much for making Saints Live a part of your Thursday afternoon. We have another action-packed show for you. We're going to talk men's and women's cross country, as well as men's and women's golf, coming up in just a bit. Fall sports certainly in full swing here at the Rock. Of course, the Limestone football program debuted last Saturday at the reservation, a Nip-and-Tuck affair through three quarters with Wingate, a highly touted Division II team. In the end, the Saints came up short on the scoreboard, but a crowd in excess of 6,000 was on hand at the reservation. Football team getting set for Game 2 of its season on Saturday, traveling to Newberry to take on the Indians at 6 o'clock. And we'll circle back to the Limestone football program in just a bit. Want to give a shout out to two of our highly successful fall sports teams right now. That, of course, women's field hockey, which is undefeated 2-0, and the men's soccer team here at Limestone has won its first two matches of the season. They've not allowed a score yet, and right now the Limestone men's soccer team, number 5 in the latest NCAA Division II national poll. So Coach Eric Alsop and company certainly have the men's soccer program off and running to start the 2014 season. Also during this afternoon's show, we'll get you up to date on the latest Limestone Student Athletes of the Week. That, of course, is brought to you by the R.M. Hines Group. We'll have more on the R.M. Hines Group when we tell you about this week's Limestone Student Athletes of the Week. Want to go back to football just a bit. Want to make you aware of a schedule change in case you're not aware of it just yet, and more information on specific details is available online at GoLimestoneSaints.com. But the scheduled gridiron game on the 20th of this month against College of Faith is now a home game. So the Saints will get to play at home on Saturday, September 20 at the reservation, and that is an under-the-lights kickoff getting underway at 7 o'clock on Saturday, September 20. And guess what? Fan Appreciation Night at the reservation on the 20th. No admission charge, so an opportunity for you to watch the Limestone football team free of charge. They only ask that you make a donation to the Make-A-Wish Foundation, the Limestone chapter. You'll be able to do that out there at the stadium again on Saturday night, the 20th. More information and more details about that at GoLimestoneSaints.com, including a letter from our Vice President of Intercollegiate Athletics, Mike Serino, thanking you for all the support that we saw in that first home game back last weekend. We invite you to stay tuned. There's still a lot more to come on this edition of Saints Live. Again, we're coming to you from the Stevenson Dining Hall on the campus of Limestone College. A little later, we're going to talk men's and women's golf with Zack Siefert. Great start to the fall season for the men's golfers, who captured in runaway fashion the Smoky Mountain Invitational earlier this week. In fact, had the medalist and had two other golfers finish in the top 10. We're going to talk men's and women's golf a little bit later with Coach Siefert. But when we continue, we're going to, as I say, run through the woods with the men's and women's cross-country program. Kevin Eagle will join us. Great to have you with us here today in the Stevenson Dining Hall and also here on Gaffney's Hot FM. Saints Live will continue after these messages on Gaffney's Hot FM. Welcome back, everyone, as Saints Live continues on this Thursday, September 11, here on Gaffney's Hot FM and from the Limestone campus in the Stevenson Dining Hall. I have a great group out here with us today. A little later, we're going to talk men's and women's golf here at the Rock with Zack Siefert. But as we were mentioning, as we were heading into our next break, we have the men's and women's cross country coach with us here today, first-year head coach of the Saints cross-country programs, and Kevin Eagle. Good to see you again.
Nice seeing you as well, Fabian. Thank you.
Well, first year at the helm of the program, and season just underway.
Yeah. We just wrapped up our first meet. It was hosted by USC Upstate last Friday, so we had really good performances for both men and women there. So
14 total newcomers this year. That's a lot.
Yeah. Our total roster size is 25, so more than half, definitely. A lot of new faces. The returners are great leaders. They came in kind of showing the way for the young ones, but yeah, we're excited about what this year has to.
Let's, Kevin, if you don't mind, talk about some of the training techniques to getting runners ready for cross-country competition.
It's a lot of miles. I mean, the guys can tell you, especially the new ones, it's a lot different than high school. I mean, the guys race 5 miles, girls race 5K, which is 3.1. But I mean, the girls, they're doing 40, 50 miles a week. Guys are doing 60, 70 miles a week. Just yesterday, we had a really tough workout, mile repeats on the track. Super fast times, good workout, but a lot of miles basically.
So let's say you had a meet last weekend, and your next meet is when now?
This Saturday.
So it's this Saturday. So how do you balance it out? Right amount of workout time as compared to downtime. How does that work?
During the season, we really just work on building up for conference, regionals, and nationals. So we really don't taper too much before the races, such as last week and this week. We know what the ultimate goal is, and that's to perform well during the championships. But we back off the day before, take our days off, make sure the athletes have good time to recover. But yeah, we just kind of grind it through up until championship season.
Kevin Eagle over the men's and women's cross-country programs here at Limestone is our guest during this segment of Saints Live. Talk about last week at the eye-opener at USC Upstate, which is always a talented field.
Oh yeah, now there were 18 total teams there. Both men's and women's finished 6th overall, 3rd over Division II. But it was hot. It was 90 degrees, very humid. So the times weren't as good as they could have been, but it was like that all across the board. All teams had to run through it. But yeah, it's by far the best opening race we've had in program history.
Now, you were at Upstate for the eye-opener, and I think you made mention that you go to Furman next.
We do.
There's a little difference in the Furman course, maybe as compared to what you saw at USC Upstate. Yeah. Why don't you talk a little bit about that?
Furman University, they decided to do a European-style cross-country course. So this is the first time we've ever seen anything like this in school
bagels
history.
And cream cheese.
I wish it was that
Wiener
easy.
Schnitzel and all that good stuff with a European flair.
Unfortunately for the athletes, no. This week, the course is a 2K loop, but there's hay bales and logs that the athletes have to jump over. So
hay bales and logs.
Yeah, true cross country at its finest right there.
Now, is there a little difference in the training regimen that you may have had this week going from the Upstate course, which I assume was, because I assume you're not running over hay bales and tree stumps and all that on a regular basis, so you have to change up your training?
No, not really. This meet, we knew going in it was going to be different from all the others, but once again, our main focus is championship portion of the season, and there's no hay bales and logs there, so this one here, we'll just kind of adjust, and we'll just see how the athletes perform. So.
What else do you have coming up after Furman?
We take, after Furman, next week we have off, but then we go back to action at UNC Charlotte Friday, September 26th, and it's going to be a big field as well, probably 30-plus teams. And then we take 2 weeks off, and then we go to Queens. And then after that, we take a 4-week hiatus, just training through, and then championship season's there. So.
Kevin Eagle, the head coach of the Limestone Men's and Women's Cross Country programs, our guest during this segment of Saints Live. Let's talk about, Kevin, maybe the growth in the athletic department here at Limestone that you've seen during your time here. I remember cross country years ago, you had maybe 3, 4, 5 kids that were in the program. Here's a couple of shirts, go after it. But we've seen a lot of progress over the period of time, not only with the athletic department, but also with cross country. If you wouldn't mind, let's kind of talk about the advancement of what we've seen.
Yeah, I mean, I've kind of been here and I've seen it all. I was a student athlete here in 2007, so I've kind of seen, the up and coming process of how far the college has grown. Our program in particular, like I said, we brought in 14 new faces. This is my first recruiting class here at Limestone. Looking to just having a huge immediate impact. I mean, with adding football, that helps out cross country and track. Some athletes like to do both. So yeah, I mean, just the athletic department overall with the new field house coming up. I mean, it's awesome. Great experience for all student athletes.
Where do most of your recruits come from?
Well, we really recruit all over. We have a student athlete from Las Vegas. We have a couple international athletes, one from Toronto. Obviously, South Carolina is a good hotbed, just being so close. But we have New York, Wisconsin, Ohio. We go all over. If you can run fast, we're looking at you.
All right. More information on the cross-country programs, including a bio for Kevin Eagle and his staff, available online at GoLimestoneSaints.com. Thanks for your time. And
thank you for having me.
Best of luck in the next meet on the European course, my friend.
That's right. Thank you so much.
All right. Kevin Eagle, as we mentioned earlier, would like you to stay with us. Coming up next, we're going to go to the golf links, and we're going to talk with Zack Siefert about the men's and women's golf programs. From the Stevenson Dining Hall, the campus of Limestone College, this is Saints Live on Gaffney's Hot FM. Saints Live continues from the Stevenson Dining Hall on the campus of Limestone College. So great to have you with us this afternoon. Don't forget, we mentioned earlier, the Limestone football program getting an additional home game through its 2014 inaugural campaign slate. It's on Saturday, the 20th of this month. College of Faith will come to town. That is a 7 o'clock kickoff, free admission, fan appreciation day. More information on that and some much-needed details available online at GoLimestoneSaints.com. Well, we're going to go from the cross-country course to another layout. We're going to go to the golf course now and talk with Zack Siefert, who is in his second year at the helm of the Limestone lacrosse programs. Life must be good. You come to work and you get to go out to the golf course, Zack.
You know, it's not bad. It's a pretty good opportunity with the teams that we got here. And, you know, I tell the kids all the time, they go to class in the morning and play golf in the afternoon. You know, life is hard on them.
Tell us about the difference between this year, year two, and a year ago at this time for you.
It really is semester two. You know, I came in half the year last year, and, you know, getting into a full year, full semester, we've had time to plan and time to prepare and things like that. And I think it's just more being organized and ready to go as into just maintaining what we had last year.
Before we talk about some of the results so far, you just got your fall schedule underway. Tell us about how one goes about putting together a golf schedule.
Well, you always want to look at strength of schedule. You know, in order to be the best, you got to play the best. So we're looking around the country of what tournaments are near us in the southeast that we can get to easily that has the best teams in it. Division II is strictly held on head-to-head matchups. So we're looking to play the best teams and the best tournaments. We try to coordinate it with the guys' schedule and women's schedule so they're not on the same dates as well. And, you know, we do it like that. So
now, Zack, I didn't mention before we did this interview that I was going to bring up a subject that the last time you and I talked, I think it was in April after the conference championships, but the men captured the conference title last year. Did you ever get the recognition award that goes with such a feat?
No, not at all.
Really?
No. It was all the girls, man. The girls did a great job winning conference, and they were jacked up about it last year. And I think they were more upset that we couldn't celebrate at the course.
Yeah.
You know, we didn't get our trophy, we didn't get our banners. It was mailed to us a few weeks later. So they were pretty upset about that.
Yeah. But hey, it's another year, so you're going for the repeat come springtime. Let's talk about some of the young ladies that make up the women's golf program here at the Rock.
Yeah, we got everybody back this year. We had a graduating senior in Shelby Wolf. We only got 6 girls on the roster this year. We got an incoming freshman, Claire Page, from Easley. We're really excited about her. She actually qualified to go for the first tournament, but had a little injury, a little setback. She'll be traveling with us in about 2 weeks for the Lady Bearcat, and I expect some good things out of her.
Now, over on the men's side of things, you got the season off to a great start earlier this week with a runaway victory at the Smoky Mountain Intercollegiate. You lapped the field, won by 14 strokes, so evidently you and the guys didn't want to have a flair for the dramatic on the final day.
No, we did not. The guys did a phenomenal job this week. They came in prepared, focused, ready to go. You could just kind of see it in their eyes that they were ready to play. We had prepared really hard in the weeks prior, and you know, it should have been a little bit bigger than that, but you know, they're going to be ready to go too in the next few weeks we got coming up, so it's going to be an exciting fall for the guys, that's for sure.
Why don't you talk about Griffin Brown, who was your medalist in that event?
Yeah, Griffin's grown up a lot here in the last semester. You know, when I came in and got the job last semester, Griffin had a tremendous amount of talent, but didn't necessarily have the maturity that it takes to be a phenomenal golfer. And over the course of the summer, we've kept in contact, and he's come back with just a sense of maturity and a sense of urgency to be great. You know, we talk about good players are lazy and great players aren't, and he's turned into a great player.
Zack Siefert, the head men's and women's golf coach, is our guest during this segment of Saints Live. Let's talk about some of the other standouts, because I know you had 2 other young men earlier this week that finished in the top 10.
We did. You know, the first tournament we got to take 7 players to, which is unique. You know, 5 travels, so we got to take 2 individuals, and 3 out of our 4 freshmen that we had incoming actually traveled with us. So to get the freshmen in and kind of to throw them into the fire to see what they got that first tournament was exciting for us. But we did Clayton Prezant, which is from Canada, had a strong tournament for us, and also a freshman, Chase Kale. He came in and had a great last 36 holes, played last 36 holes at 1 under par, and really came down to the wire, and he was big for us.
Let's talk about how one trains. Golf is an individual sport. A lot of golfers have had the individual training leading up to college. So as a coach on the collegiate level, how much do you really do with the players as far as a tweak there or a tweak here?
You talking about as far as, you know, training physically or with the golf
practice,
swing?
Golf swings.
You know, I usually don't try to touch your golf swing a lot. You know, we really make sure our fundamentals are perfect, and a lot of golf is mental. You know, I got to instill confidence in these players. You know, I got to instill a belief in these players that, you know, we go out there, we can get the job done. So a lot of my job is just making sure that they feel good about their own games, their own selves. And when they tee it up, golf is a game. Games are meant to be fun, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to have as much fun as possible, and we're going to, you know, try to beat them down while we can.
You talked about the strength of schedule, and again, Zack Siefert, the head men's and women's golf coach, is our guest during this segment of Saints Live. Let's talk about some of the upcoming fall events before we kind of delve into the spring, so to speak. I know we're a ways out from the spring, but how about some of the remainder of your fall schedule?
Yeah, for sure. Our fall is probably our most important part of our season. The guys have 3 upcoming. There's going to be the most 3 that they play. Our next tournament for our women is going to be the most important one probably they play. So the fall is going to be paramount in preparation, and we kind of did that as, you know, seeing girls and the guys getting to practice in the summer. When they come back, hopefully they're prepared and ready to go, and you know, really perform well before break gets here.
And how about once we move into the spring?
Yeah, the spring is all about coming off a good winter break and maintaining with the momentum you have from the fall, and then obviously just running towards that conference championship. That's kind of our goal here.
What about the opportunity to swing the sticks in a geographical climate that we have here? I guess an opportunity for us to kind of get the spring schedule, play a little later in the fall, and then maybe start that spring schedule a little earlier than some other programs?
Yeah, for sure. You know, a lot of the practice time, the preparation time that's necessary to get ready, we're able to utilize being down here in Gaffney, South Carolina. You know, some teams a little northern than us, they don't have that opportunity, so that's nice.
Now, we take a look at some of the other aspects of the Limestone Golf program. You mentioned you came in mid-year last year. You succeeded your good friend. Where do you foresee the Limestone Golf program going? Because you don't seem to be one that wants to sit there and just win a conference championship. You seem to be one that has that bar set a little higher than that.
Right, yeah, absolutely. We talked about, like I touched on before, you know, we don't want to just be good, we want to be great. Good programs are lazy. They're satisfied with being good, and they'll take beating 90% of the competition, and that's just what they'll be. And we want to be great. So, you know, I see us this year on both sides being a top 15 program. And I told our girls have an opportunity to be great. They really do. It's just going to come down to if they want it. You know, so it's going to be instilled in them to be great, and we'll see how they respond.
Your recruiting, Zach, reaches out to where as far as the 2 programs are concerned? What's the furthest out that you've gone and grabbed the recruit from? Because I know you've got some, you know, from the region, but tell us about some of the recruiting trails.
Yeah, that's a great question. The girls' side is really strong for 2015. We've got a top 200 player in the nation coming to Limestone, Allison Cooper from Pennsylvania. We're really excited about her. We've got another Pennsylvanian, and Victoria Ross is going to be joining as well, great player. And then we got a little ace in the hole. We've got a girl from Sweden this year coming in. She's a top 10 player in her country, and she's going to make an immediate impact when she gets here. So we're really excited about the freshmen coming in on the women's side. And on the guys' side, we're looking at a local kid here in South Carolina, and then also another kid from Canada. So we're pretty excited.
I'll tell you, with success comes the ability. Recruiting is never easy, but with success also comes folks knowing that Limestone name now.
That's right. Absolutely. With winning comes, you know, a bar that you set like you talked about, and then, you know, some people and some athletes are drawn to that, so it definitely makes it easier.
All right, listen, great start, particularly on the men's side, and don't be a stranger. We'd like to talk with you again as your fall sports season continues with men's and women's golf.
Yeah, thank you for having me, and I appreciate all the support you guys give. Thanks.
Zack Siefert, the head coach of the Limestone Golf programs, our guest during this segment of Saints Live from the Stevenson Dining Hall here on Gaffney's Hot FM. Back to put the finishing touches on the latest edition of Saints Live. We want to thank our men's and women's cross country coach, Kevin Eagle, and also Zack Siefert, our men's and women's golf coach, for joining us on this show. Don't forget, Limestone adding an additional game to its inaugural 2014 schedule. Free admission Saturday the 20th of this month. More information is available at GoLimestoneSaints.com. Our time is up. We thank you for yours. Want to thank everyone out here at the Stevenson Dining Hall who came out to join us today. We'll be back with you a week from now, 12:30 to 1 o'clock. But before we go, it's time for the Saints fight song as we close it out here on Gaffney's Hot FM.